Now we will look into Archimedes' principle, buoyant force, metacenter, then of buoyancy and the relation between all these. So Archimedes' principle, so we know its origin and all. How when Archimedes went for bathing, when he lied into the tub, what happened? Some amount of water has overflown, has been displaced. That is, volume of body immersed into the fluid, volume of body immersed into the fluid is equal to volume of, this is volume of body immersed into the fluid is equal to volume of fluid displaced from the container. Because if we know, if in a container, if some water is there, and if we are immersing some body into it, this level of water will be rising up. That level, that volume is equal to volume of body immersed into the fluid. Okay, this is one of the observations, and he himself observed some loss of weight. Okay, when he was inside the tub, he himself felt some loss of weight. That is, if he had a weight of W, but when he got into the tub, his weight, he felt some new weight. This new weight is because he experienced some force upwards. Obviously, so W minus some force upwards. This force upwards is called buoyant force. And that buoyant force, it can be defined as weight minus buoyant some force upwards, it is buoyant force. Okay, that much is clear for you. Now there are we can also observe some bodies remain floating. If we are putting some bodies into water or some other fluid, some will be remaining flowing in flow, some will be floating, some will get submerged down, or they move to the bottom, and so on. So how these differ, these observations, how they differ means, we'll see. We have this container with some fluid inside it, and I have put a ball into it, and this ball, if it is floating, means it is in equilibrium. That is, weight downwards is balanced by the force upwards. That is the equilibrium condition, and it is the condition for the body to remain floating inside a fluid. Okay, now that condition is weight downwards is equal to the force upwards. So what is the case? New weight, it is 0. Okay, weight is equal to, so the upward force is defined as volume of the body immersed or volume of fluid displaced, both are same. So I'll just write it as fluid displaced because it is easy to calculate. Whatever fluid has overflown, just collect it and measure the volume. Or else what we can do, find out the rise in level of water. If water has not, or if the fluid considered is not overflown. Displaced times density of water so it is buoyant force is nothing but weight of water displaced. I think you got that much clear. So now we can check whether a body will sink to the bottom or remain floating before experimenting it. How? Just calculate the buoyant force and see whether it is equal to weight or whether weight is more. If weight is more, what happens? It will sink into the bottom. So all depends on the density of the body, density of the fluid, and so on. So now where this buoyant force acts, that is this buoyant force anyway, it is a vertical force. It is at the center of gravity of the fluid body immersed in the fluid. That is, suppose a ball is immersed in a fluid like this as shown in the figure. So this much portion of the body is immersed in water. The center of gravity of this much portion will give you the action of center of buoyancy. That is the thing. And now the thing is, we have seen center of buoyancy. It is so vertically we are looking at the center. That is, if we have a rectangular body immersed, so the dimension immersed vertically, let it be h and the width be b. So the center of buoyancy is at b by 2 and at h by 2. I think you are clear with it. So this much is b by 2 and this much is h by 2. So that is considered to be. Now another thing you have to know, you may be required to know, is Metas and Randall. So what it is if we are given a slight oscillation or a slight angular displacement to the body, sometimes it come back to its original position. That means it is in stable equilibrium, or it will continue oscillating, or sometimes it may overturn. So we have stable condition or neutral condition and unstable condition. If it overturn and then it is unstable condition. If it continue as it is, then it is neutral. It come back to its original position, then the thing is stable. So for determining this, okay, these things are important in case of ships only. Okay, so we'll see how we can check into that. And now the body in itself has its center of gravity, and we have found a new center of buoyancy also. Now next is metacenter. That is, I have said about the displacement. If we are giving an angular displacement, if it oscillate, then this oscillation will be about a center, which is metacenter. It is defined as a point joining the lines passing through center of gravity and center of buoyancy. Okay, we have two lines because after giving in angular displacement, it will create a new center of buoyancy. That is, after oscillating, after giving this angular displacement, it will take a new position like this. So that its new center of buoyancy is this one. Okay. Actual center of buoyancy was this, and center of gravity is this. So if you are drawing lines like this, BG is there. In the figure, the body placed in the cylinder, which was actually it was floating in water. That is, floating means it was in equilibrium condition, and a slight tilt was given to the body, so its new position is shown in red color. Now its center of gravity has displaced center of buoyancy. See, so I'll just say this here, G was here, it has displaced to a new position G dash. Okay, and center of buoyancy, whatever depth was immersed in water, half of that must be center of buoyancy. So suppose B was here, new center of B dash, that also has displaced. Now if we have two lines through them, this is a straight, now this is a straight line, we will be getting a straight vertical line through G and B, another inclined lines through G dash and B dash, both will be coinciding at a point called metacenter. I think now you are clear with this. Okay, now a body to be stable, there are certain conditions. I haven't noticed that here. See, for a body to be stable, I will say before that. So now we have got what is it. Where is that metacenter all? Okay, we have seen what is metacenter all and all. Now the criteria about which I haven't said, that is, for a body to be stable in equilibrium. Stable in equilibrium means what? Like in the case I have shown, if we are giving a slight displacement to the body, if the body comes back to its original position, then that position is said to be an equilibrium or stable equilibrium. For that condition, the center of gravity should be below center of buoyancy. That is the case for the position of the body to be stable. Now, unstable means what? Unstable means the body, if given a slight displacement as in the first figure, it will take chance of it and overturn. Overturning can be caused due to the slight displacement. Then for that, G is above B. Now next is neutral. Neutral means if given slight displacement, after displacement it will move to another position and continue to be on its own. That is, no change will be taking place. It will remain as it is. For that, G and B are coincide. For the same, G and B coincide. Now, next thing is in relation to metacenter. Figure A shows the initial position of the body, and when an angular displacement is given, the center of buoyancy shifts to B1. If a vertical line is drawn through B1 and the line passing through the older center of buoyancy and center of gravity, both lines will coincide at metacenter. So this point is metacenter. So it is the point about which the body is moving, that is about which a moment is occurring. So we have a couple generated due to the buoyant force as well as the weight of the body. So if we are considering weight of the body, if we are taking the cross section, suppose here is the part of the body that oscillates. Part of the body that oscillate. Now, from the line, if we are taking some distance x at an angle theta, that is, and if I am taking the cross section of the body, so this is the one at a distance x at an angle theta. It is oscillating at an angle theta. So the vertical, I will show you clearly, theta. This is theta. So the vertical thickness is x theta. And so I am finding the couple. I am going to find the couple or moment produced due to weight of the body. So if I am taking the volume of the body taking part in that oscillation, it will be integral of that strip. If I am taking x dx, that strip dx times that is, if I am taking the cross section, dx is the strip at distance x. So x into theta will give you the vertical dimension. Horizontal dimension is dx. The thickness, the thickness. Now this width is d times density of the body or specific gravity. This is the weight of the body, and if I am taking the moment of that much weight about the axis passing through metacenter, it is x only. So we have integral x square theta dx d times gamma b. Now this is nothing but second moment of inertia of the body only. see, along the axis x, so I-axis. Second moment of inertia only. I think you are getting my point. Now the couple, the moment due to buoyant force, it is nothing but Fb buoyant force times the distance. If you are seeing this figure, see, this distance is nothing but Bm times theta. This theta, it is only the axis through which the body oscillates. If the body oscillates by an angle theta, so the axis, this should also be theta only. This is theta. So now Fb times m, so the distance times theta. Distance between center of buoyancy and metacenter times theta is equal to I-axis times theta. So this is the equation. Now we can easily find distance between metacenter and center of buoyancy. It is nothing but I-axis by Fb, the weight of the fluid displaced. Weight of the fluid displaced, or gamma of fluid times volume of the body immersed into the water. Now after giving external displacement also, the total volume inside the water should be the same, because what much more is immersed into water, that much is on the other side coming up. On the other side, that much volume itself only is coming up. So we don't have to worry any change in volume immersed in the fluid. So this is the thing. Now I-axis can be IgG plus, sorry, I-axis. Now we don't have to worry about the I-axis is now Bm is given by now I-axis by gamma f v. Now Bm is center of gravity to metacenter. This is metacentric height plus Bg. So from this we can get metacentric height. This is of importance because it determines stability of the body inside the fluid. Now suppose metacenter is above center of gravity, then it is a stable condition. If metacenter coincides with the center of gravity, it is a neutral condition, and if metacenter is below center of gravity, it is an unstable condition. So the definitions have already been discussed. This is the importance of metacentric height, and about which it oscillates. The angular velocity with which it oscillates can also be found in the same way.